Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport on YouTube with Jamie Davies and Sebastian True. And in this live preview, we're going to bring you Schalke versus Borussia Dortmund in the, what do they call it, derby, Seb?
Isn't it the Riviera Derby
That's the
or
one. I used to thought it was Riera derby, as in the
Riviera
Riera
Derby?
Spanish
Yeah,
football.
no, you might be right with Riviera Derby. Riviera.
No,
Okay,
I
let me
think
get it.
you're right because there is a V.
Riviera Derby. Riviera
There we
Derby.
go. Of course, folks, we've done our homework. So yeah,
No,
what?
I can tell you that it's the Ruhr Derby. That I'm quite certain of. They don't call it that, but it's the derby of the region of the Ruhr. So I mean that I'm sure of.
As you can see, Seb is very cold at the moment with his blanket, but he's hoping to be warmed up for this game tomorrow night between Schalke and Dortmund because really, well, really is two ends of the table. Well, actually, I say that Dortmund are currently outside the top four, so they need to get themselves going in the league, which was an impressive win away at Sevilla, 3 goals to 2, and a fantastic couple of goals from Erling Haaland to help them on their way ahead of the second leg. But with Schalke at the moment, okay, they would have had a rest this week, so they might have a little bit of advantage. I'm not really sure you can use that, though. Let's be honest, we can't, can we? We really
Schalke have had
can't.
a rest the whole way through.
Yeah!
I mean,
That means they might improve. Oh, bless them. Who would have thought, years ago they were in the Champions League semi-finals in 2011 with Raul and Huntelaar up front. Huntelaar back there now, which I'm starting to wonder why he jumped on a sinking ship from Ajax, but oh well. Yeah,
Well, because his career he's retiring. He's still injured during all the matches that Schalke have played. I don't even know if he's got a minute for Schalke yet. So
I think
that was
he's
a
played
great
one
idea.
game. I think,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
considering the Kabak go, and I'm not sure how I rate Kabak's season. Why did they bring in Huntelaar when Hoppe started getting all the goals? That just says a lot about the direction of which Schalke were going towards. I mean, they couldn't get rid of players that they wanted to get rid of. But yeah, I interrupted your intro there.
No, 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 it's fine. No, no, no. This is what we're here for. But I mean, Seb, it's such a shame to see a club like Schalke, which I think we could both agree, pretty much destined to go down.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's not the worst squad. I'll go to that extent. I know it's pretty bad, but I wouldn't say it's the worst squad. And even though they brought in Gross for Gross, great name. Is it Christian Gross for the Swiss manager? Doesn't seem like anything has changed. At home, they've only won one of their last eight at home, and that was against Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim were underperforming this season. Dortmund, on the other hand, have won one of their last five away games. So I don't know where this game's going. Dortmund have to win it. If Dortmund don't win it, then Terzic will be put under. I think he'll be. I think they'll find a solution until the end of the season because
Really?
because even though we know Marco Rose is coming in, but you can't have him running this Dortmund team down to say sixth, seventh place.
Yeah.
Considering this is also a derby, this is a derby where 2 years ago Dortmund really fucked up. Let's just say it like that. Dortmund, yeah, when they lost 4-2 against Schalke, they were still in the title race in 2018-19. They lost the title by 2 points, and yet they lost this match near the end of the season against Schalke 4-2.
Oh,
So, I mean, Schalke were just above the relegation zone in that season too, which kind of paints a similar light to now the gap between both teams. I don't know. Dortmund should find this one easy, but because it's such a very fierce derby that it it might not end as we'd expect,
mm,
and this could put Turcic's temporary job in danger, in my opinion.
interesting. Of course, we found out at the beginning of this week that Marco Rose, the Mönchengladbach manager, is going to be the replacement in the summer for Dortmund, which I think is a great appointment. I think Seb would definitely agree as well. But it's just the fact that I don't know. Why didn't they just get him in now? I know there was a clause to sort out,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I think it was the clause they've activated, and even so, I don't think Rosa would have agreed because, well,
he wouldn't want to do that to
he's
Mönchengladbach.
he's brought Mönchengladbach into the Champions League, and he's still in it. If Mönchengladbach weren't in the Champions League, might he have gone now?
Yeah,
I'm saying maybe. I'm saying maybe.
yeah.
But they don't. This is how they do it in Germany. They don't. They don't come in mid-season. They never do. This always is the case. Guardiola, who announced when he was leaving at the end of the season, or whoever was leaving or coming in, these are always announced. Or Lewandowski going to Bayern Munich, they're announced before the end of their contract or the end of their term. It's never mid-season. So they announce it mid-season, but it's always pre-announcement, shall I say?
Yeah.
But to talk about this derby, that recently Dortmund haven't had too many problems except for that 4-2 that I mentioned. So I'd expect them to continue that sort of form in this derby. You know, an easy win because Schalke are just abysmal. They're just awful.
They are. I mean, I've seen them a few times in the new since the new year, Schalke, and there's just nothing there, is there? I think their best player is their goalkeeper, as daft as that sounds, because that goalkeeper's made some saves in games even when they've lost 4-0. I think it was so depressing. I think it was one of our watch-alongs we did a few weeks back. It was Schalke against Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich won 4-0, I think it was, and it was so depressing seeing the mascot alone in the stands, literally just doing this. It was like the guy wasn't the mascot anymore. He forgot what he was wearing and just thought, no, I'm a Schalke fan. This is really hurting now. I can't be bothered being this mascot that's supposed to cheer people up, get people pumped up for a game. Fuck that.
That goalkeeper you mentioned is Ralph Farman, who's basically been at Schalke, yeah, basically his whole career.
Yeah.
Had a brief loan spell at Norwich, but yeah,
Oh,
as you
right.
mentioned, probably one of their best players this season. Even when they sold Kabak, it was almost as if, you know what, we've got Mustafi in it. It's just as disastrous. So we're going down the same route. We're just gaining what, maybe 20 million at the end of the season, depending on the clause. I don't know. It's so sad to see Schalke plummet in such a way. I say plummet, but if the past two seasons have been something to base off,
Mm.
Schalke have been descending towards the relegation zone for a while, and they're on 9 points. Mainz are on 14, and Mainz look down and out. So there's not
Yeah.
much hope left for Schalke, is there? Let's be honest.
But we
And
keep but we keep saying for mines, don't we? There's something going on there, isn't there? There's a bit of magic.
it's weird. They're terrible against teams around them, but then they really up their game against the top teams, and that's not good enough because if you give your teams around you points, then you're creating a higher mountain to climb for yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do it because I'm still reasonably impressed with Arminia Bielefeld. I mean, even just the other night against Bayern Munich, they have a way of playing that will get them points.
And a quick.
They're not playing for 1 point; they're playing for three. Whereas Mainz
Yeah.
play for one. So you could do the math yourself over the course of a season. If you play for one or three, the three are going to get the most amount of points. So I think Mainz are doomed as well. But just to come back to it, Schalke are definitely doomed. And I don't know whether their players they've got a lot of players out of contract in the summer, but that'll be important for the rebuild. Yeah.
Mm.
But just
Absolutely.
but to come to Dortmund, I mean, they've been terrible recently in the league and just very stagnant. And yet against Sevilla in midweek, I mean, that was a good performance, despite them conceding two soft goals. I'd say it was a very solid performance.
I couldn't believe. I mean, it was the old Dortmund, wasn't it? I thought in the first half at least. Second half they were very quiet. Sevilla had more control of the game, then they had more possession, but they didn't do anything till the last 10 minutes when they got that second goal. But yeah, that first half of Dortmund, after they conceded the first goal, it felt like the old Dortmund under Lucien, where it just was like, when they get themselves going, you don't know how many goals they're going to get. It's great football. It's fast paced. It's great finishing from Haaland and Sancho with the setup there and Bellingham behind as well. So they can do it. We know they can do it. And I think this is perfect. It's on their plate, Seb, against one of the worst teams in the league right now. Regardless of this rivalry, they should win. And if they want this Champions League football, hopefully you think that win over Seville gives them enough hunger to remind some of these players, if you want Champions League football next season, win this game.
Yeah. So to put it a bit more into perspective, I mean, I agree with you. I think they should really revert back to this Favre ball that I don't think anyone else calls it. You know, build quite a fast build-up play, but you shoot at the right time, etc. If they get back to that, they will beat Schalke. That's for sure. If they play Favre style, and the next game is against Arminia Bielefeld, be a bit more difficult because they're
Yeah.
quite on. They're on the front foot, Armina, but it's a game they still should win. So that's fine. Preparing to the next Bundesliga game after that, which is against Bayern Munich. And then if you look at it afterwards, they've got next games Berlin, Cologne. Okay, Frankfurt a bit more difficult than Stuttgart, but then Werder Bremen, Union Berlin. They could get a decent run of form together to push for this top four spot. And not only top four spot, they should really be pushing for third spot. They're 6 points behind Frankfurt, but they should be better than Frankfurt over the course of now to the end of the season.
Have they got Frankfurt again?
What do you mean? Are they playing against Frankfurt?
Again, yeah, Dortmund this season, or was that it? Have they played?
No. They're playing against Frankfurt. Yeah, in about.
Oh, okay.
It's in April or something.
So they can still turn it round.
Exactly. It's still 6 points, and you get that 3 point. How to say it? If Frankfurt are only 3 points ahead, then that winners all is the difference between third and maybe not Champions League spot. If you see what I mean.
Mm.
Wow, I didn't really express myself very clearly there. It's been a long day.
It is a Friday. It's the end of the week. We'll let you off. Quick mention about the team news now. We'll talk about Dortmund because this is great news for Seb True and for Berkey fans. He's out. He's not going to be in this game. And when I say Berkey fans, there isn't any. Schmalzer is out as well with a knee injury, and Witzel, he's been gone for a while, Achilles tendon. There is, of course, a bit of doubt for Hazard again, thigh injury as always. Pizik with the muscular injury, and Zagadou with a hamstring. So, not a lot of players free for Terzic. But Hitz will go in goal instead, which, in all fairness to Hitz, I thought he did all right against Sevilla and made one or two good saves in that game. For Schalke, they've got their newbie, old B, of Huntelaar, who's out again, earning a living, sitting on the stands at the moment. Ludwig is gone with a foot injury. Pansier is gone with a knee. Wano with a groin injury, and Sane, no, not that Sane, with a knee injury. So yeah, it's an interesting. Well, it's Mustafi. That's not Mustafi who's gone from Arsenal, is it?
Yeah, Mustafi from Arsenal. Yeah,
Oh my God, and he's gone to Schalke to play in Bundesliga too. Oh dear.
Well, he is German, so maybe he just wants the way back home, isn't it? I can't remember. I think he went away from Germany when he was very young to Valencia or places like that. So maybe he just wants to go back home. I don't know, but
it's actually here's a fact for you. Marco Reus, now it's his 300th Bundesliga game come this weekend, and of course I'm sure many Dortmund fans have enjoyed his time at the club. And here's a bit more stats for you. In that time in the Bundesliga, he has had 130 goals and 84 assists. So that's very impressive, Seb. Despite what people, may be a bit hesitant about Royce these days. Maybe he's not as good as he used to be. Just, what a player he's been for Dortmund.
I mentioned this in one of our live watch-alongs not long ago. There were mentions of Royce that if he didn't have the injury problems earlier on in his career, he'd have been up there for a Ballon d'Or. He'd have been a Ballon d'Or contender. Maybe
Top three, would you say?
It's stretching it a bit, but definitely, under that time with Jurgen Klopp and a bit further afterwards, he was Dortmund. He was that main cog that helped them get to the final of the Champions League. He was so influential. That's why they didn't mind letting Götze go, for instance, who was a fantastic player. Royce was the key element that they never wanted to let go, and he's been fantastic. And it's unfortunate to see it wind down in such a way now, because I think his form has really dropped off a cliff recently. I thought he started the season okay, but now it seems like he's really getting past it and can't hold the whole season. And it's kind of sad. I think he's only 32. He's not getting injuries anymore, but it just seems his levels are not there anymore. But yeah, you've got to say, if you're a Dortmund fan, one of the legends of the club, even though Dortmund have had legends before, and it's not like as if it's a
legend.
It's not. Yeah, it's not as if it's not a club that hasn't had glory. They won the Champions League in '94. They have had legends, but Royce is definitely up there.
Awesome. Anyway, Seb, before we wrap up, let's give Schalke fans a drubbing, shall we, with our scoreline predictions. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win for Dortmund in this one. I just think Dortmund, with that win over Sevilla, will bring the confidence back for them. And, of course, Haaland, as long as he's available, he'll at least get one goal. If he doesn't get a goal, I'll be very surprised. This is the perfect game for him.
After his midweek game, I'm sure he's licking his lips at the prospect of Schalke this
I
weekend.
hope he isn't, because then he could end up with dry lips and he'll have to put some of that stuff on him, like looks like lipstick.
Lip
Lip balm, that's the one.
lip balm,
Yeah, I
yeah.
hope he doesn't suffer from that, because he talks a lot in the press conferences, as we know.
Sarcasm. But, I'm gonna go for something wild, like a 4-2 for Dortmund.
4-2. Oh, a bit of a high scoring
You can't.
affair.
Dortmund don't keep clean sheets.
Yeah, especially with hits in goal. No
Even
doubt
with
about
Berkey,
that.
it may be a Swiss goalkeeper thing.
Yeah, Swiss goalkeepers just prefer tennis. Anyway, thanks to... Well, they use their hands, you know. They should use it for the rackets instead and be the next Roger Federer or Stan Wawrinka. No kid says Wawrinka. Anyway, my thanks to Seb True for the preview of Schalke versus Dortmund. Who do you think is going to win this Bundesliga tie? Let us know in the comments below, and you can join us tomorrow at 5:25 UK time for our live watch along of Schalke versus Dortmund, and I believe our good friends of Joe Stanley and Luke Tanner will also be joining us in the hot tub for this game, but there will be no hot tub because we're in different locations because of COVID-19 restrictions. I better protect ourselves there.
Metaphoric hot tub.
Metaphoric hot tub. We might have to put it in the background. We'll have to see what we can do. Maybe get some effects going with the bubbles on our screens. You never know with Zoom. Anyway, thanks to Seb and thanks to you lot at home. Don't forget to subscribe. See you later.